noted that majority of the cases that have been analyzed have turned out to be those who have traveled illegally or through agents who are not lances by Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. They have agents, especially in Dubai, who they link with, and they recruit Ugandans from here, take them through tourist visas, and they end up in Dubai without any protection from anybody. We have engaged our embassy, and they have given us a comprehensive report, because some have been there for more than 5 years, 10 years. Others have been there as of recent, and most of those that you see on the streets, sleeping on Bania squares in Dubai, are victims of this. However, through engagements, the government of UAE, in respect to the outcry of those living on the streets, and not only Ugandans who are living on the streets in Dubai, there are also people from other countries. We have now, through our embassy, had a very humanitarian offer from the government of UAE to give tickets to all Ugandans who are stranded in UAE and would like to come back to Uganda. And they will be given free tickets to come back. At the moment, they are being registered by the government of UAE, of course, with close collaboration with our embassy. And the registration is being undertaken in a place called Al Awil Immigration Center, where Ugandans are being assessed for eventual repatriation back to Uganda. And already 452 Ugandans have reported for assessment and for possible return and repatriation back to Uganda through this program. And like I stated, it's unfortunate that most of these people, the 452 so far that has registered, they all went through agents, not through lances companies. And in this, the assessment is based on, one, those who went to UAE and they have not committed any criminal offense. The only issue that they might be having is overstay of their visitors or tourist visas. Because like I stated, most of these people did not go through the visas for work. They went through tourist visas and visitors visas. So for all those ones, even if you have overstayed, because in the UAE, when you overstay your visa, they start penalizing you from the very day that your visa expires. So there are Ugandans who have 6 million shillings as fine, 10 million, there's one with 47 million as fine. And so you cannot come back when you have not paid that, but all those shall be forgiven and they will be assessed and brought back. But there are also those who are in detention for other criminal offenses. Those ones are not going to benefit from this program. So I'm calling upon all Ugandans out there, if you have relatives, if you know people who would like to come back and they're in UAE, I want to request you to notify them to go to Al Awil Immigration Center for assessment and possible return. I want to request that we join hands together to fight against human trafficking, because as a ministry, as government, we have established a framework for travel abroad. But we still have people who are trafficking and sending people illegally. We cannot do this alone. As government, we request you to come to our support so that we make this industry safe by ensuring that those who go to work abroad go through the formal process, because with the formal process, even if you have issues, we are able to ensure that we support you and bring you back. And like we stated before, externalization of labor is a temporary measure by government. It's not that government would like Ugandans to keep moving abroad. In the meantime, while there are those that have not yet benefited from the various programs of startup kits, capital for you to start your own business, we cannot avoid this. It's a temporary measures, and we want to request Ugandans out there that the youth, especially who are going to these countries, please benefit from the existing program under parish development model, under the small scale program, so that you get capital and start businesses. And if you must travel, we appeal to you, please travel through a license company, because license company, now we make them pay 100 million, which we as a ministry keep the 100 million, so that when you are in distress, we can pick that guarantee from the bank, from the company that has taken you, and buy you a ticket to return you back. We no longer have to buy a ticket by ourselves. The bank guarantee that each company pays of 100 million is what we use to rescue you and bring you back. So if these Ugandans in UAE had gone through license companies, we would process them through the processes, get the money from the bank guarantee, then they would be brought back through the license company. So I want to request that please let us encourage Ugandans to go through the formal license companies, because we know even if there are challenges around that, we have robust mechanism through our current regulation, and the regulation or gives stringent condition and terms for license companies. For instance, for you to get a license from Ministry of Gender to externalize labor, you have to be a registered company with a minimum capital of 50 million Uganda shillings. You must have in your account money with a minimum of at least 10 million. You must execute a bank guarantee of 100 million, which can be redeemed by Ministry of Gender within 3 days in case we need to return any migrant worker that you have externalized. That is one of the conditions. You have to pay a license fee of 2 million and a non-refundable fee also for 100 million. You have to submit CVs and addresses of all the directors and employees of your company. You have to publish your staff and directors of companies in the media. You have to have audited banks of accounts and income tax return for both the company and directors. So these stringent measures, we hope, will also remove away companies or people who want to come to the industry just for sake of wanting to look for money, but they would have money and capital that can bring back Ugandans when they are in distress. Externalization of labor, while most of the social media only portrays the negative bit of it, I want to indicate that so far we have over 200,000 Ugandans who have gone through the formal channel. But beyond the formal channel, we think we have actually more than 300,000 to 500,000 Ugandans in the Middle East alone, because we don't have statistics for people who are in Thailand, people who are in India, people who are in Malaysia, Hong Kong, and all those other countries. So with this 200,000 employment created, our assessment is that only about 1%, those who go through formal channel, only about 1% will place distress calls. And within the 1%, the distress calls are responded to by our embassy, by the companies that are in those countries, and I will still tell you what other measures we are going to institute for making sure that we have robust rescue program for those who travel to these countries.